the investigation into the death of Michael Jackson. The Los Angeles Times this morning reports that a second private autopsy has been completed on the pop singer at the urging of his family. And for the latest, let's go live to Los Angeles now and ABC's senior law and justice correspondent, Jim Avila. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Bill. As Michael Jackson's fans remain in vigil outside his boyhood home, there are new developments to report. First, the doctor who was with Michael Jackson as he died has resurfaced and talked to police for some 3 hours. Sources say he remains a cooperating witness and not a suspect, and there's no indication of any foul play. Also, as you reported, there in fact has been a second autopsy done at the wishes of the family so they can have a second opinion on the cause of death. Movers hired by his family picked up some of Michael Jackson's personal property left at his rented mansion in the Holmby Hills as his father, Joe Jackson, released their first statement since the singer's death. Our beloved son, brother and father of 3 children has gone so unexpectedly in such a tragic way and much too soon. We miss Michael endlessly. Our pain cannot be described in words. Joe Jackson also says his grandchildren, Michael's Prince 1, Paris, and Prince 2, the boy they called Blanket, appreciate the tremendous outpouring of love for their father. The children are staying at the Jackson family compound in Encino, where Michael grew up. An eventual custody battle is expected as the birth mother of the 2 children, Deborah Rowe, has indicated she wants to raise them now. But first, police are trying to find out exactly what led to the King of Pop's death. Detectives confirmed they interviewed the doctor who tried to revive Jackson. The man heard anxiously pleading for paramedics to hurry in the background of the 911 call for help.
Doctor, did you see what happened, sir?
Dr. Conrad Murray, a Houston, Texas cardiologist, met with detectives for several hours. His lawyers insist he is not a suspect, but a witness and friend who left his car behind at the Jackson home because he hopped in the ambulance to continue CPR.
Dr. Murray's grieving for the loss of Mr. Jackson, as millions of people around the world are, but he wasn't only Mr. Jackson's physician, he was also his friend, and he's grieving for Mr. Jackson right now, but he's holding up well.
And this morning we're hearing a new voice. The Times of London reporting that the children's nanny told them that many times she had to pump Michael Jackson's stomach because he had taken too many pills. It's another sad tale about Michael Jackson's last days. Bill?
Jim Avila from LA, and also joining us from Southern California, ABC News legal analyst Dana Cole. Good morning, Dana.
Good morning, Bill.
So tell me, what are the benefits? What can the family expect from this second autopsy? What can they learn?
You know, I think it's really more a question of control because for the Los Angeles coroner to issue a report regarding its findings takes at least a month, can take several months, believe it or not. So the family really didn't want to wait, this agonizing wait. They wanted to take matters into their own hands and try to conduct their own autopsy to see what they could find.
But are there limitations? I was reading from other coroners saying, and it's rather grisly to bring this out, that even though the body might be released back to the family, the coroner oftentimes keeps the brain in order to test, test that for what kind of chemicals might be there. Are there limitations?
No question there are limitations, but the key thing is really going to be the toxicology reports. They're going to do all sorts of analysis on the tissue samples, and that's going to take some time. So even though the family conducted a second autopsy, they're really not going to get answers until the toxicology report comes back.
What do you make of the doctor and his involvement in this? Adamant statements from his lawyers that he's not a suspect, from the police as well. Is he in the clear yet?
Well, it took a little time for him to sort of resurface, and he had some explaining to do. Now, to his credit, he did in fact meet with LAPD. He sat there for a couple, 3 hours answering their questions. But again, the police are going to be slow and methodical in trying to figure out the cause of death here, what exactly happened, and nothing is going to be known until that toxicology report comes back. So regardless of how many questions he answered, they're really not going to know anything definitive until they view those toxicology reports.
Right. And finally, custody of the children. If Debbie Rowe, as Jim reported, does come forward and says she wants custody of the eldest children, is that an automatic? And do they come with his millions in assets?
Well, the bigger question is, do they come with the third child? Because you really don't want to break up a family. So if she's coming forward and saying, I want to reclaim my 2 children, that's a judge is going to have pause there, because I don't think a judge is going to want to split up that family. So again, that's another huge question that's going to take some time to resolve.
Okay, Dana Cole, as always, we appreciate your insight. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good to see you, sir.